Good morning. Today I am going to discuss a very beautiful short poem, The Lotus by Toru Dutt. But before we start the discussion about the poem, it is very necessary for us to know the text of the poem. So I would like to first recite the poem, The Lotus. Try to concentrate on the lines or on the text of the poem. Love came to Flora asking for a flower that would of flowers be undisputed queen. The lily and the rose long had been rivals for that high honor. Bards of power had sung their claims. The rose can never tower like the pale lily with her Juno mien. But is the lily lovelier? Thus between flower factions ran the strife in Psyche's bower. Give me a flower delicious as the rose, and as stately as the lily in her pride. But of what color? Rose red? Love was chose, then prayed, no, lily white, or both provide. And Flora gave the lotus rose red dyed and lily white, the queenliest flower that blows. This is the text. The Lotus is a Petrarchan sonnet in the octave. We find the problem of superiority of lily or rose. The sestet resolves it by combining the qualities of both in lotus, the queenliest flower. The lotus, like Aqua's Dream by Tennyson, is a very important poem. Like Aqua's Dream, this poem is characterized by delicacy of imagination and sensitiveness to nature. In delineating nature, Toru Dutt shares with Sarojini Naidu pictorial imagination and sensual perception. H. A. L. Fisher addressed her as the child of the Green Valley. It is quite natural that native Indian woman with sharp poetic talent finds much around her to feel her sense of beauty and curiosity. The delicacy with which she paints the natural beauty in the lotus can be found in the poem Sindhu. Upon the glassy surface fell the last beams of the day, like fiery darts that lengthening swell as breezes wake and play. The lotus, like Bogomari, shows the mature poetic genius of Toru Dutt. In Bogomari, the poetess sings of the scenic beauty of the garden, girt round with its sea of foliage. The Lotus is a powerful and impressive sonnet by Toru Dutt. In delicacy of imagination and lyrical grace, This poem is simply superb. The mythic consciousness of the poetess, combined with her mature poetic genius, is interwoven with the theme and structure of the poem. The poetess is imaginative enough to trace the genesis of the lotus to the conflict between the rose and the lily. The rose, with its brave hue, and the lily, in her pride, have been rivals for queenship. The poetess dramatizes the conflict between the two. Gods of powers have sung their claims. Both the rose and the lily have been struggling to impose their superiority over each other. Shaike wants to end the strife. The poetess admits the rose can never tower like the pale lily with her Juno mane, but she is doubtful whether the lily is lovelier. This impels Shaike to approach Flora, who may solve the problem. The words of the poet herself points to this truth. Love came to Flora asking for a flower that would be of flowers be undisputed queen. The lily and the rose long had been rivals for that high honor. The rose and the lily, locked in conflict for queenship, have been concretely visualized as flower factions. Shaike's bower, as it rings with the strife of flower factions, goes to Flora, the goddess of flowers. Shaike requests Flora to give him a flower which may combine the redness of rose and the whiteness of lily. Shaike thinks this will end the age-long strife between the rose and the lily. Shaike wanted a flower delicious as the rose and asked about the color of the flower Shaike wanted. Love showed the predilection first for rose red, then for lily white, and finally for the blend of the two. Flora gave the lotus at once red rose and lily white. It was the queenliest flower that blows. The manner in which the poetess sings of the birth of the lotus through mythical is energized by the delicate imagination and mature poetic sensibility of Toru Dutt. It reveals Toru's keen sensitiveness to nature and the responsiveness of her soul to color. Rose and lily have been humanized, you may say have been personified. The use of Juno mane for lily reveals the zealous pride of the lily on her claim to queenship. The narrative mode of the poet in the octave gives way to conversational tone in the sestet. The pictorial imagination of the poetess manifests itself in the use of words like red and white, rose and lily. The sonnet, in short, is the poetic peace, the outburst of poetic genius. It shows the poetess's fine command of the sonnet form. Thank you.